find the sphere, past the ticket line, and my next task is to find this bar slash pizza place. So get this, there's this guy called Nick Gray on Instagram, and he says the pizza here is incredibly good. Let's see if that's true. There's a canteen here. Everything has kind of like a space theme, mostly because of that announcer robot voice. There's like a AI robot there. And people are buying drinks at the bar over there.
Amazing job. Just a few steps changes so much. Change spotlights now.
Now I don't know if I'll be able to record inside. I guess it might depend on the concert.
All right, friends, move spotlights
going on
again.
here?
We have 4 total to choose from. World's most advanced sound system. We have a
Okay, so a few things. This place is massive, 1. 2, they tell you get here at 9:30, but the show doesn't start until 10:15. So you literally get like 45 minutes to roam around and explore the different levels.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Could I go 1 floor down, please?
Creatures, great and small, all natives of Nevada.
Here's my review of the experience. First off, I thought you couldn't film in there based off the videos I've seen. At least not much, but no one stopped you from filming at all in there. So that was really cool. The actual experience was actually pretty solid. I thought it was actually a live band, and then as I looked closer, it was actually a video screen, and they had recorded a recorded concert of U2, and they played it there. But the resolution and the way with the angles was so good that it literally looked like it was actually them. And it fooled me for a while, but like there were other signs you could tell it wasn't them. The actual seating was pretty empty on the sides, so you can kind of tell it was empty, but the way the band was interacting with the crowd made it seem like, wow, there's a lot of people, a lot of noise, a lot of applause, which didn't match the amount of people who were actually sitting there. So you can kind of tell it was not the real experience that way. So if you're fine with that, I think it's a pretty solid experience. Like, you don't necessarily get the authenticity of like the massive crowds and the cheering, but if you're okay with that and you just want like a virtual experience, this was actually pretty solid. U2 did actually perform here live, so I assume they taped it and then they essentially reused it. I don't really listen to U2, but it was really solid. I can see why that band's pretty solid, especially the drummers and the guitarist. Some of the instrumentalists were, in my opinion, better than the lead singer. But overall, I thought it was a pretty solid virtual experience. Is it going to be as epic as a concert? No. You could kind of feel the energy in the crowd was kind of dead in comparison to what a real concert would be like. And that disparity was definitely felt because, you know, he would like, there'd be these little monologues where that lead singer would like talk to the crowd and you hear these massive cheers back, and then you would look at the audience and the audience was kind of, the real audience at least, was kind of quiet compared to the massive cheers. But there's so much about it that seems so real that let's say 50 years from now when the whole band has passed away, you could play this and it'd almost be like, I wouldn't say it would ever be like the full authentic experience, because once again a lot of that comes from the cheering fans, but it's almost like a museum. You can replay what it would be like to see them live, and it would be very authentic because it's nearly like an IMAX experience, if not better, with a much larger screen. So I think it's really solid. I would give it like a 4.4 out of 5 stars. So pretty high ratings. Obviously not as good as a real concert. As far as the graphics in the back, I was a little underwhelmed by them just because I'd seen some incredible visuals that were posted on social media of live concerts here. But it makes sense. The live concerts probably have a bigger budget to spend on the visuals. With this one, they kind of rehashed some fairly simplistic, I wouldn't say simple, but like pretty decent footage, but nothing crazy. Obviously some of it I could tell was made by AI, just by the way like the movements were or the patterns were, and it was all right, but I've seen some really crazy visuals that are on another level if you see it live. So I might come back and see it with a real artist here and see if that's any better. I've also talked to some people who have seen some of the live concerts, like Anima, who's like an EDM artist who played here recently, and I've gotten mixed reviews. A lot of people really liked it, and the visuals were like these like massive robots, AI robots, that like synced with the music, so that was pretty cool. I think most people liked it. One girl said it was like too much. It was like, but you know, to each their own. I think this is probably still one of the best venues to see a concert, just because of the crazy visuals behind the artists. So I think your best move, if you can afford it, is to come here for an artist, especially if you can find an artist who you know they're going to put some really good visuals in the background, because you also run the risk of kind of what I saw tonight, which is I would say there were some good visuals and then there's some pretty basic basic ass visuals. They had a few. There's a few songs which was literally just like. I mean, it was still cool. It was, but it was just like overlays of different camera angles of the artist, and then a little bit of like, you know, different like words floating about in different fonts. Nothing crazy that, and it didn't even fill up the entire screen inside. And I knew that that sphere inside could hold a lot more visuals, which it did show in other songs. But you can tell there were some kind of basic, I wouldn't say stock footage. It's not stock footage, but like you could tell like the level of intricacy for some of those visuals wasn't like, they weren't going all out as they might from, I don't know, another artist who's playing. So that being said, if you're just looking, let's say you're here visiting Las Vegas and you just happen to realize, oh, maybe I should see the Sphere too, and you don't have a specific live artist lined up, then I actually do think that this would be a pretty solid experience for you to check out. So I'm gonna stop rambling now. Now we are outside again, and yeah, once again I give it a 4.5 out of 5. The pizza was really solid, and I would go again. I would not go and see the stock videos again. I don't take that back. I think it was a solid choice, but if I could do it again, I would see a real artist now that I've seen one of these like stock videos. I think it's definitely worth it if you just like happen to come by Vegas and you don't have a real artist lined up. And I really firmly believe I made the better choice. So if you are doing that, you have two choices right now. You have Postcard to Earth or the U2 visual experience. Obviously I did a U2 one, and I really think I made the better choice. But it's up to you. I mean, here's the thing, with that Postcard to Earth one, you're basically just watching a nature documentary of Earth. And for some of y'all, that might be much more visuals. This has decent visuals, but like, assuming the Postcard to Earth one is like a Nat Geo type of vibe, you're probably going to get some really cool visuals there. Probably a basic story, basic narration, nothing interesting. So if you're not interested in those documentaries, I think U2 is the better choice. And like I said, yeah, some of the background visuals while the band was playing wasn't anything spectacular, but there's some songs with pretty good background visuals, and a lot of people really like U2. Like, it's a legit band. So for the same price, I think I would recommend U2 based off what I've heard about Postcard to Earth. But I don't think you can go wrong. It's a good experience. Thanks for watching.